Let's learn something really quick.
If you got the time, absolutely. And you got the discipline, there's no question about it.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great practice to put into your everyday life, you guys.
You generally regret the things you don't do, not the things you did do. Let me say it that way.
Mic drop. This was just awesome. I love meeting my guests in person, and it's a whole nother animal, and the energy is just electric. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bring you incredible guests from all over the world, so sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is a creator, writer, host of her own web series blog about travel, style, and shopping, some of my favorite things. She is also very involved in pageantry as a pageant coach. She holds the Best Forever title of the Global Beauty Awards. She is a fashion and jewelry designer. She's a freelance fashion and jewelry designer and has a scripture memorization ministry called The Amazing Word. Please welcome Miss World Traveler, Kerry Damiano. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
There's a lot there. There's so much. I love it because you're definitely a type A.
Well, true. I like to stay busy and I like to try lots of different things and kind of do my own thing. So that's what you are reading about, just doing my own thing.
But you are absolutely stunning and gorgeous. I love it. I can tell why you are in pageantry. Before we get into your blog and the travel and what you're doing now, tell us about that whole journey, because that's always very interesting.
Well, this started in the early 80s that I just felt called to be in it. And I was always a girly girl, but not really into that kind of thing. I was very serious about my studies and about athletics. And so to do something so girly about makeup and that sort of thing, like a pageant, it wasn't really on my radar. But once I sort of felt this internal, this is something that you need to try. And once I did, I was hooked. Yeah. And so it's been over 40 years now, and I do a lot of judging. So this summer, I don't even know how many pageants I'm judging, sort of back to back to back.
Wow.
Travel all over for that. And then I love coaching because that allows me to sow into the lives of young women.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's not something they learn in school or anyplace else. So it's very rewarding to watch these young women just become who they were meant to be. So that's what's kept me in it for so many years.
I love it. And I think that there is a negative stigma around pageantry where I believe that when you embrace it, all the positive things, it really kind of helps refine you as a woman. You get involved in the community and, do a lot of charity work, because that's what I was doing. I was getting very involved in the charity, doing a lot of volunteer work, wearing my sash and my crown, and just showing up and getting to know the people around me. And I love that part. And also the makeup part. Doing makeup is a skill. To show up looking put together takes effort, and that does not come overnight.
That's right. A lot of effort. And you refine that over the years too, right? You just get better and better at it. But a lot of women go into pageantry so that it's that journey that they're on of self-improvement. And, the pageant is just the carrot out there dangling to give them the motivation to do it. But it's that internal, I want to be my best self and look my best self and present my best self.
Yeah. And I think that also it represents to get to a certain level, you have to have the beauty, the brains. It's not just all about how you look. You have got to be intelligent and know how to articulate your words properly. And I think there's a lot that goes into it. And that's the one thing that I loved about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so now you're coaching young women to help them reach their best selves. How is that? That's going to be so rewarding.
It is. And, I really get to know the girls. Yeah. For me, I'm single, never married, never had any children. So these girls become like my daughters. Yeah. And I get to know them just to know their heart.
Yeah.
And that is partly what is so rewarding to me. And then I get to watch them for years going, I've got a wedding coming up with one of my girls that had been coaching for a while. And so I get to see sort of the next phase of their life. And it's a friendship and a relationship, kind of a mentor-mentee, but friend as well, that really never goes away.
That's awesome. How are you single? You are just way too gorgeous to be single.
I truly believe if the right person came along, the person I couldn't live without, that I would be ready and to go for it. But that hasn't happened. So kind of like you, Deanna, label free. I'm not going to label myself as a, sad sack because, never found the right one. It's living your life, going with your passion, doing what you love, being excited about every day. And this is the lot that I have in life. And so I'm going to live it to the fullest.
Yeah, no, definitely not a sad sack. Listen, let me tell you something. I'd be totally fine on my own too. Like, I don't need anyone, but you're just so, like, I can't imagine, like, you have, like, men aren't falling over themselves to, like, meet you and talk to you and, like, take you out and wine and dine you. Like, that's what I meant. It's like,
but you know what, Deanna? I actually haven't had a date for over 20 years.
What? Get the heck out of here. You're watching this and you are an attractive, successful, good man. Contact this woman, okay? Take her on a date. She deserves it. Take her out, show her, like, fly her private, 5-star meal. Take her on your yacht. That's what I'm saying. Okay. When we first originally connected, I loved that you have a travel style and shopping blog. So I absolutely love that. We'll get into some of the other stuff, but I think is that like your main thing that you have going on right now?
It's my most recent thing. It is taking a lot of my time. But it's also something that I feel like I've been in training for over 20 years. So as I look back, and I see all of the different pieces of experience that I sort of needed to go get those skills and get those experiences in order to be able to do this the right way. And my travel journey has been over 40 years. So I didn't get to 130 plus countries, yesterday. Right. It's been years of travel and adventure and enjoying it, and then realizing other women are going to enjoy that journey as well.
Oh, for sure. Can you imagine if you had all that content from the last like 30, 40 years? Oh my God.
Nice to even take pictures.
Yeah. Like, holy cow, you would be like icon status if you could have all that content now, because everything is content. Everything's media.
That's right.
That's
right. So I didn't even get on social media until I started this. And I brought on my niece, who's 30, to do that for me because it's just not my thing. Yeah. And I have so many other things that I want to be focused on. So yes, we're getting content, but fortunately, I don't have to be the one that is doing all the posting and keeping track of all of that.
You're lucky because it is a job, that's for sure.
It's a job.
So how are you enjoying being a blogger? Like, what made you decide to start that? Because I mean, blogging is very popular, especially travel and fashion. Like, these are all like very popular things.
Yes. Well, frankly, to be honest, I've kind of let the blog go because I've been so busy doing the show, which is on YouTube. So as much as I would like to keep up on that, it's kind of like something had to give.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be that because it does take probably a week to put together a good, informative, educational, entertaining blog. And I just don't have the time to do that much anymore. But we're busy working on the show.
Yeah.
And we're traveling all over. We just got back from Chicago. We were just in Brazil and Buenos Aires, and Argentina here in May. And then we've got Nashville coming up in a week or two. And then we'll be in Norway and Sweden after that. So we are just go, go, go.
That's amazing. So where are you traveling to all these different places for? Like, what were you in Chicago for?
To film the show. And so basically our mission is to inspire women to travel, even if you have to do it alone.
Yeah.
And then to shop local. So we support local business by featuring women artists, designers, entrepreneurs, trying to find things that are being made there. Because the idea is, ladies, come to this place. It's a beautiful, wonderful place. And then you'll feel like you know somebody.
Yeah.
Come here and you can shop in these wonderful places. And you'll feel right at home because you've seen their story, you've heard it. And now you feel like you have a connection.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that. And then it has to be so much fun. So what's your favorite so far?
Ooh, that's like asking a mom which one is her favorite kid, right?
I know. But I have to ask. I'm sure anybody listening would want to know too.
I have different favorites for different reasons in terms of countries. Now, the first time that I was in New Zealand was 1996. So over 25 years ago. And I've been saying ever since then that my favorite for the friendliness of the people was New Zealand. And we were just there again in November, December timeframe.
Nice.
And it's still true today. So that's an example of, for a particular reason, it's a favorite. And then like would say a favorite for shock value. The lack of sanitation was shocking. The heat was shocking.
Egypt. Oh, Egypt. Okay.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Yes. So different favorites for different reasons.
That's very cool. I would love that. Like, I love to travel personally. I don't know if I'd be interested in going to Egypt, but New Zealand, I heard, is beautiful only because of the way they treat the women there.
Exactly. And that's why it isn't really the big tourist destination, is it?
No, definitely not. But they have beautiful smelling oils, right? Isn't that what they have there?
They do. But mostly it's just what they accomplished, in their history. It is just mind-boggling. And so if you love history, that's a place that will just, it will be entrancing to you.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh, very cool. Well, tell us about being your freelance fashion and jewelry designer. Tell us about that. How do you, with everything going on and traveling, how do you have time to do any of that?
Well, a lot of it's with the pageant girls that I work with. I design gowns. I design their jewelry. I make all of my own jewelry. I design most of my clothes. And I have a seamstress who does the actual sewing because I'm pretty mediocre in terms of actual sewing, but I have a good vision and I have a good sense of color. So I'm able to sort of put things together and, just make it work.
Yeah, no, I love that. You've got like so many different skills, and I'm sure like just you're multi-talented. I love it. So you also are of a scripture memorization ministry called The Amazing Word. What is that?
Yes. Well, I memorize whole books of the Bible, and then I quote them. So it's kind of like a dramatic interpretation of it. And it just sounds different.
Yeah.
When you read it, it's not the same as when it comes from inside. Kind of like if an actor were reading it off of the script cards, or bringing it out from what they have memorized. There's just a difference in the way that it's perceived and the way that it's delivered. And I think it's a little bit like hearing the person who wrote it. Like you feel like if Paul wrote it, like it was Paul speaking to you, or Matthew wrote it, Matthew was speaking to you. So it's an interesting thing. You kind of have to hear it to understand it.
Yeah. No, I think that's beautiful. How long did it take you to memorize a book?
Oh, there is no shortcut. I get asked that a lot. And then people will say, oh, it must be easy for you. No, it's repetition over and over and over again. Just like anything that you have to memorize, you have to work at it. But I do try and use more of my senses. Like I speak it out loud. When my mouth is forming the words, I hear myself saying it. I feel myself saying it. I look at it. I'm trying to use more of my senses to be able to memorize. And I think that helps me retain it longer.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. And as we get older, it's harder to memorize things. Like I know for myself, like I will read something. I'm like, I got it. And I'll say it out loud. And that's like 2 seconds later, I'm like, I don't got it.
Exactly.
What a great way to exercise that tool, or that exercise your brain, really, because
that's right.
It's like it's a muscle, kind of like a muscle too. You have to exercise your memory, and I think you forget about the importance of that. So what a great way to exercise.
I used to memorize as a child and then kind of got away from it for a while. And once I started doing it again, which is around 2000, it was kind of like opening a closet door and stuff was already in there. You just forgot that it was there and it came back. So that was a good kind of epiphany for me too, that I had worked on it at one time. And even though it wasn't on the tip of my tongue, it was still there.
Yeah. That's good. I love that. Let's go back to the pageantry. So you say you're a judge back to back to back. The whole summer or the whole year?
I have things out through November, but sort of back to back is this summer.
Sure. What is your favorite thing about being a judge?
That you are going to change the trajectory of a young woman's life.
Yeah.
And the opportunities afforded to her. And while only one wins, there are still opportunities for the other girls as well. But just being able to watch that, I say the word journey a lot, but that's what it is, right? Nobody comes out of the womb, done, right? We're all on a path. We're all on a journey. And so to be able to be part of that, there's something quite special about it.
For sure. What is your least favorite thing?
Having to not pick some girls. And when I look at it, it's a little bit like a bell curve.
Okay.
And this helps other judges who haven't done it a lot. I've done hundreds. So, I wouldn't be considered a novice.
Yeah.
And so I try to explain that it's like the bell curve. Somebody's at the bottom. Most are here, and then there's a few at the top. And you have to be willing to put somebody at the bottom because that's life, isn't it? Yes. Like a company that has 1,000 employees. There's some top-level people. Most are kind of in the middle. And then there's some that are not necessarily pulling their weight. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. And it's hard to do because you want to encourage. You want to be Paula Abdul.
I love that. That was awesome. Yeah. I would have a hard time being a judge, I think, because I'm like such an empath that I would be like, oh, I don't want to like let it down. But that's true. Some people are at the top, and there's a reason why there's winners, and there's people that don't win. They win in their own way, showing up. But they
don't necessarily get the crown.
Right. But there is, very cool. And so now the sash you're wearing, this is for, what is it?
This is Ms. World Traveler.
Okay.
And even though it's the show that we're doing is not about a pageant, this is kind of an ode to my 40 plus years in pageantry. Sure. Sets me apart. As you know, there are thousands of travel bloggers and vloggers out there. So we're doing something a little bit different because my background is different. I'm in fashion and beauty and pageantry and that sort of thing. So there's an element of glamour to it. And I wanted to bring that into my show. So we don't do any where to stay. So we don't cover hotels. We don't cover restaurants. We don't do any of the off the beaten track, eating scorpions, that kind of thing. Okay. It truly is about shopping and fashion and style.
Yeah.
History.
My kind of blog. Or my kind of show. Not blog, but my kind of thing. Yes. I'm not about eating the scorpions either. No, thank you. Show me where to shop. All the good places to shop. That's what I'll sign up for that one. With that being said, where can people follow this journey of yours, watch your show, and support you?
Well, we're on YouTube. So it's YouTube Ms. World Traveler, MS, Ms. World Traveler. And then we're also on Instagram and Facebook, and that's Kerry, Kerry, Ms. World Traveler. So we'd love to have people follow the journey, and we're going places.
That's right. Absolutely. You guys would put those links in the show notes. So please go subscribe to her channel, go follow her on social, go watch her, go to all these fabulous places and shop in fashion and beauty and all those fun things because, I'm a total girly girl too. We're here for it. Okay. So go click those links. Oh, go follow and subscribe. Miss World Traveler Kerry. This is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
Well, I would say it's never too late to start something new. I started this in my 60s and working harder than I've ever worked before and loving every moment of it. But I believe if you're passionate about something, again, you'll be energized. You'll want to do it. It will be fun for you, even though you work hard at it. So don't let, I'm too old or it's too late be something that stops you from doing it.
I love that. I feel like we should have a second, like a follow-up her and ask her all her secrets for her skin. Because your skin is just fire. Like, oh my gosh.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm sure you could give a lot.
I'm going to tell my mother thank you for that.
Yeah. But you have to take care of it though. You may have been born with certain things, but you have to take care of it. And that's very important.
Absolutely.
We get off track. Anyways, Miss Kerry, it was such a pleasure. You are stunning. I love what you're doing. And I love that you're going after something and you're kind of breaking the mold and not listening to any of those labels. Because, I think that we've been programmed from a young age that once we hit a certain place in our life that we shouldn't continue to go after things that we're passionate about, which I don't agree with. We subscribe to the same belief system. So I love it. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sure you're going to motivate, inspire those that tune in and watch, and they're going to tune in to watch you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.